Simon Jordan says the WBC need to make a decision on Tyson Fury. Welcome back to Pro Boxing Fans. Now, today's video, we're going to talk about the fight that has got everyone talking one way or another. Tyson Fury against Francis Ngannou is only a few weeks away now. We had the press conference last week in London with a red carpet event. And as an event, as Frank Warren has told us many times since announcing the fight, it is going to be a big occasion. So many media outlets at the press conference. It did feel like a big fight, even though we know the reality here that there's surely going to be one winner, and that's Tyson Fury pretty comfortably. Now, Fury that day obviously spoke to us and several other media outlets, and he doesn't seem to be too interested in Alexander Usyk. We spoke to Shane Fury, Tyson's brother, and you can watch that video on the channel now. And he said unless Usyk lowers his financial demands or accepts the position they believe he's in, then the fight won't happen. Jeff Powell from the Daily Mail we also spoke to, and that's another video you can see, and he says that he thinks Tyson may offer Usyk a 75-25 split based on his performance against Daniel Dubois. Now, obviously, this is stuff boxing fans don't want to hear. We just want to see Tyson face Alexander Usyk, prove he's the complete number one, and that's it. Obviously, we know at the moment that's not going to be the case, and I saw an interesting piece that Simon Jordan did with Spencer Oliver on talkSPORT, and he made an interesting point about the WBC and potentially their role in making a decision over Fury. So here's what Simon Jordan had to say.
Here's the trade-off.
Yeah.
You've got to fight someone meaningful.
We need it.
You've got to fight someone meaningful now, or why aren't the WBC stepping in and saying, that's quite enough of this now, rather than making ridiculous mock belts. Should there not be a point, surely, where we say to Tyson Fury, if you don't start fighting inside your predominant sports, you're actually not doing the sport.
Well, he's in danger.
So that was Simon Jordan talking about Tyson Fury and the WBC on talkSPORT. When he refers to ridiculous mock belts, he's referring to the fact that there will be a WBC belt on the line, sort of like a commemorative belt. But he makes an important point, which is if Fury isn't fighting contenders and things like that, then something has to be done. Now, we know that the WBC ordered a final eliminator between Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz, and they couldn't come to a deal, and then the WBC basically rescinded that order. So Tyson technically doesn't have a mandatory, hasn't fought a mandatory since beating Dillian White, and it is a shame that Wilder and Ruiz couldn't have come to a deal, because I think both of those fights people would have said, look, a fourth fight with Deontay Wilder, given the third fight with Fury, I'm not sure a lot of people would have said no to that. And Andy Ruiz is a former heavyweight world champion, a solid contender. He's had some decent wins recently, and that would have been a good fight against Fury. I still would have made Fury a big favourite, like he is against most of the division. But how long can Fury go without defending his belt? It's a similar situation with Canelo Alvarez. Obviously, his last mandatory, well, he had the WBA mandatory in John Ryder, and then before that, his last mandatory was Avni Yildirim, who he dealt with easily. So he hasn't been given many mandatories either. So, and he's obviously defending his undisputed championship against Jermell Charlo later this month. And then you look at the situation with Devin Haney. He is the champion in recess at 135 pounds, because it looks like he's going to fight Regis Prograis for his WBC belt, 140 pounds. So could the WBC do that? Could they put Fury in recess whilst he's not fighting contenders or not fighting Usyk, or, you know, there's no mandatories, and then let someone else fight for the WBC title? If you look at the ratings right now, number one contender with the WBC is Deontay Wilder, number two contender is Anthony Joshua. So is that a fight that could happen? Could we put Fury in recess for the minute and make Wilder Joshua for the vacant title? That's just a thought I came up with. And then Fury comes back and fights the winner or fights Usyk. See, Fury also mentioned rematching Francis Ngannou in an octagon and also fighting John Jones. So who knows, is Fury serious about these kind of guys, or is he going to fight Alexander Usyk or someone else in the fights we actually really want to see. It was reported by ESPN's Mike Coppinger this week that there are talks going on to stage Fury against Usyk in Saudi Arabia next year. And with these new backers in Saudi Arabia, potentially that is the case, but until that is signed, I'm sure not many people will want to even believe that. But let me know what you guys think. What do you make of Simon Jordan's comments? Should the WBC step in and do something and potentially make Fury recess champion, potentially put a mandatory on him? What do you think the situation is? Or do you think that Fury has got to the point where he can dictate like this and fight whoever he wants and still remain as champion? Let me know what you think. Obviously, that fight, October 28th, is going to receive a lot of attention, whether boxing purists like it or not, but that is the situation now. Don't forget, keep it locked to the YouTube channel here on Pro Boxing Fans. We're coming up to 50,000 subscribers, so really appreciate it, and continue to watch the content, like, share, subscribe, comment, and don't forget, next week is the rematch between Joe Joyce and Zhilei Zhang at Wembley Arena, so we'll bring you full coverage throughout the week from that fight. I am told from people very close to Joe Joyce's camp that his camp has gone a lot better than last time, and he's been looking good, so let's see what happens in that one. Drop us your prediction for that fight as well in the comments, and we'll see you on the next one.